Hi everyone, it's Melissa Joy. I just wanted to give you guys an update how my wax try-in, the number 2 wax try-in, came out. Sorry it took me so long to get back with you and give you guys an update. Studying for my finals. I had final exam on Friday, so I've been studying so hard to, be able to pass it because it was my most difficult class that I have taken so far, which is calculus. I'm getting my business degree. So I ended up passing it. Yes, I get to walk this Saturday and graduate, get my degree finally. So I'm so excited for that. So I've been just like in a wind whirl with all that emotions going on. Of course, with not having teeth, I'm kind of worried about that. But just to let you guys know how my wax try came out. I believe it went really well. First of all, in the beginning of the appointment, didn't go so well. When they brought in the teeth to me, they were really long, really big teeth. I'm like, oh my gosh, is that my teeth? And they said, yeah, that's them. And I said, they come down way too low. They make me actually look like a horse. And he's like, oh, no, you look fine. You look fabulous. He just even took out his cell phone and took a picture of me and said, look, you got $1 million smile. You're beautiful. You're okay. And I was like, well, I think there's a problem. I mean, is there any way that I can get the teeth moved up? I mean, if it's, something that can be done to adjust that. He said, oh, well, let me go ahead and bring in the lab technician to actually create the dentures and have her look at them. Well, as soon as she walked through the door, she says, oh, yes, they are way too big for her mouth. Let's see what we can do about it. She even said, oh, let's just move them up and see how they are. And I was like, yeah, I just want them moved up a little bit to see, what they look like then. And of course, it's all set in wax, so it's not going to stick to your mouth, or it's not going to have that good suction as when you get the permanent dentures or your temporary dentures. What she ended up doing is she ended up taking them back, fixing the top ones where the teeth are raised up a little bit, more up into the gum, which, I don't want to see when I smile. I don't want to see gum line. I want to see teeth more than gums. And of course, I think that's why they gave me the bigger long ones, because with these temporary teeth, you only have 2 options on the sizes. You don't have the options on the style and, shape of them. Of course, they still look like arrowheads to me. They're still pointed. And with the color choices, you only get 3. Yellow, yellower, or yellowest. And I pick yellow. So, I mean, that's, of course, I don't want yellow teeth. I want white teeth, but they're just temporary. They're just part of the healing process. So, that's what I have to deal with. But anyways, when they brought in the teeth to me, back into me, oh my God, the ones were perfectly set like I want them. Or not perfectly, there's still issues, but, these are just set in wax, so I can't really tell, with these teeth, because they're not the final product. So unfortunately, I have to wait until Tuesday to make sure, they get a good suction into my mouth. But I wanted to get on to the lower teeth. Because that's the reason why I kind of came back to them, because the lower teeth were too wide for my mouth. And of course, even when they did the impressions, the tray that they put in my mouth was too big. They needed one, a couple more sizes smaller. But unfortunately, they didn't have them. But they try to do what they can do. So anyways, when they put the bottom ones in, oh my God, they were slender. They actually fit into my mouth. Now there's a couple still issues with them, and the lab technician actually noticed a couple of teeth that stuck out too far, so she wanted to get them back into place. But for the most part, they're slender. They fit into my mouth. It's wonderful. Hopefully that when I get the final product on Tuesday, which is a couple of days from now, everything will look right. I'll have the suction there. For now, of course, I'm still healing, so I know I'm going to have adjustments to do after the fact, until I get my permanent set you know, 6 months from now. And of course, you know, I can't wait for that. Of course, it's going to be a kind of shocker to all my close family and friends, because they're going to see me with one style of teeth, and all of a sudden I'm going to have, you know, the style that I wanted with the curved top and the nice shaped teeth, and a nice color, which I'm probably going to go, you know, almost to the whitest white, maybe a couple of shades lower than the whitest. I don't know. I have to do research on that. I really don't know that, because I have like 27 different choices, you know, to choose from. And it's like, well, I look at the whitest white, but I think it's too white, too fake. But anyways, we'll get to that when that time comes around, and, you know, the style, the shape, and everything else. But I did want to share a couple of photos with you to let you guys see what the teeth were like before and then after. I think I have an after photo. If I don't, you guys will see it on a couple of days from now. So here's those photos. So what do you guys think? I mean, was I, you know, hallucinating or something when I told them that the teeth were low? And of course, you know, kind of like, oh, you know, you're fine, you look great, you have $1 million smile. I'm like, no, I know, not yet, but I'm getting there. What can you do? I mean, you just have to keep on telling them and telling them what you want until they do what you want them to do. But anyway, so that was kind of like how everything went on that day. And sorry it's been a couple of days, but I was so excited for, not excited for taking my exams, but, you know, just studying so much so I can pass that course, because that course was my hardest course, and it was my last course that I had to take to get my business degree, which I'm getting this coming Saturday. And I hope the teeth turn out great, because I so want to have a great smile when I walk. It would be such a blessing to me to have that milestone and then have, you know, my teeth. Anyways, you guys stay tuned to the next video. If you have any questions or comments for me, please leave them, and I'll be happy to respond. But you guys have a great day. Take care. Bye.